The beach, where people go to relax, enjoy salt air, the sound of the ocean waves, and the sense of peace the beach provides. Now, I go to the beach to enjoy all those things, and I also happen to have a thing for seashells. So I like to go to the beach when I'll have the best chance to find those seashells. And today it happens to be quite early. So I will need the assistance of a headlamp for just a little while, but I am going to show you 41 different seashells, sea snails, or sea animals that I encounter today. Now, each trip to the beach is different. I wish the moon could light our way, but we're going to need to use a headlamp. And today, we're going to start out with an urchin. Now, for me, this is exciting because I have not been able to see these for years. Only in the last, maybe a couple months, these urchins have showed up again. They are algae eaters. They are very safe. As you can see, I'm handling it with no problem, although we'll need to stay in the water. You shouldn't be taking things that are alive home with you. Something like that would need to stay here at the beach. So I'm just going to check it out, see. There was a couple of those urchins. Okay, now there's a banded tulip there. That is alive. I'll leave that alone. All right. So there's definitely going to be treasures here. I can't wait to see what all that is going to be. All right, here is an angel wing. Now we learned last week the animal is what holds the pair of angel wings together. This is a lace murex. There are a few different murex shells that you can find, but that is a lace murex and an angel wing. Fantastic. Okay. Well, what we have here is a mama lightning whelk. So that big lightning whelk is the female, and those other little lightning whelks are the males. And I'm just going to leave that to your imagination, what is going on here. But we'll just say it is mating season, and I am already starting to see a bunch of different egg casings, and we are going to talk about that as well. So we're going to leave these lovers alone, and we'll see what else is here. It's actually going to be a really exciting day. There's all sorts of sanddollars, living and dead, so we'll be able to take a few home. Gorgeous seashells, so I will identify those as well. And one of the reasons I really like the beach that we're visiting today is the animals. There's going to be so many critters that we're going to be able to kind of get close and personal with. So if you're ready to see what all is out there for us today, let's go to the beach. All right, we got the headlamp on. I got my good attitude, and we are ready to find some seashells and sea critters. All right, here's a couple more critters. Those are banded tulips. They are alive. Oh, and look at this. So that weird plastic looking stuff, those are egg casings. So that another sea snail laid those. That is from a true tulip. Now, inside the egg casing, so in that little triangle right there are little itty bitty eggs. Let's take a look. This is something I had kind of laying around. Yes, I have these kind of things laying around. So this is actually a horse conch. But imagine inside that there's lots of sand. Look right there. Itty bitty seashell. So that's how those little seashells start out. This particular kind, the true tulip, the horse conch, there's a couple of them, they actually start off their lives with little tiny seashells. Not all of the snails do that. Some of them will be larvae and they kind of like float around until they float to the bottom and grow their shell. But some actually start off with a little baby shell. Oh, that was really cool. Now, on Fort Myers, for the last 6 weeks, every time I've come here, I've been able to find sanddollars. Would you look at the pattern on this one? Now, I have found them deceased, but I've never seen a live one with like that alligator pattern. Oh, it's so beautiful. So that kind of answers the question. I guess that's the way they live. And then when they expire, they kind of keep that pattern. Oh, super cool. So we'll see what kind of sunrise we're going to get. Only in the winter or do we get the really low tides in the mornings. In the summer, it happens to be in the afternoon. So it is kind of seasonal when these mornings come. My favorite are the winter low tide mornings, my absolute favorite. Here's another Sanddollar that happens to be very light. Not quite albino, but typically they're much darker brown and purple. You can see all their little cilia, all their little hairs kind of moving around. So that's kind of like a blonde Sanddollar. We'll leave that next to one. You can kind of tell it's a little bit lighter. But yeah, I checked the calendar and for the last 6 weeks, all of those little dark spots are Sanddollars. It's incredible. So this is only, they're only going to be exposed at really low tide. But this, I'm just really grateful that I was able to have this experience. I have not had something like this in a very long time. I just can't believe how many Sanddollars there are. There's so many. Oh, it's so cool. So I will tiptoe through the Sanddollars. Oh, hello, beautiful. So this is my dancing partner. This is a female blue crab. She clearly wants to dance, but I have some seashell. I have seashells I want to find, so we're going to leave you alone. Feisty little thing. Let's see what other creatures are waiting for me down the beach. All right, this is not a creature. This is a deceased, so this is perfectly safe to collect, but would you look at the extra keyhole on top there? Now, normally they only have 5 keyholes on the bottom, and then there's this one kind of weird one on top. Oh, that's neat. Yep, definitely keeping that. There's the moon still. So what a morning. And then sometimes the sunsets are just so beautiful. This one's going to kind of whisper in. It's fine. It's pretty. It's not going to be one of those crazy ones. I never know. I always keep coming here early. See what I get. Looks like we're going to get a lightning whelk, a kind of muddy lightning whelk. There is this section of beach that there's like this clay, like clay mud. So that's what that kind of like dirt is, and then sand. So perfectly safe to collect. This, yeah, the muck will wash right off, no problem. Got myself a very muddy lightning whelk. Awesome. Oh, garbage, terrific. Yep, anything I can handle. I also take off the beach. Look at this crazy like tree thing. All right, that was dislodged at some point and is residing there. All right, let's see what else is down the beach. Okay, oh, more Sanddollars. So they still get a couple. All right, there's a couple that you can keep. There was a whole bunch of live ones. That is just beautiful. I wonder how, I don't know how long it takes to grow that big. I don't know. Oh, it's just gorgeous. I suspect I have an olive coming up. Yes, the lettered olive. So over here on the west coast of Florida, we can get them really shiny with pointy tops. You can feel the shine. Uh-oh, yep, that one is missing its top. I bet you it did not pass the gloss test. No. So we're just going to stick with that one. Oh, we got another one. They roll very differently than the other shells. Oh, that one's very tall. Very tall lettered olive. Another big Sanddollar. I don't need it, but I can't leave it. Okay, all right, so now let's take a look at one that is deceased, perfectly safe to collect, not white, I might add, and then one that is alive, that really dark with all its little hairs and everything. So to me, they don't even look close, but I guess if you don't know, so just because it's dark does not mean that it is alive, but please make sure anything you take from the beach is dead. So that Sanddollar is no longer, and it is perfectly safe to take. It's kind of a pretty sunrise. A little bit of pinks. That works for me. And okay, no Sanddollars here. That's okay. Maybe we'll find a few on the way back. The Atlantic giant cockle. I call them beach bowls, and the interior sometimes is like, it's okay, and other times it's really pretty. That one is probably a pretty good cranberry looking cockle. This is a clam. That is a calico clam. I just think they're quite fancy and quite beautiful. I just have an affinity for them. Now, this is a quahog, and we have quahogs up, northern quahogs and southern quahogs. That one happens to be a northern quahog because down here we do have both of them, and I know it is a northern quahog because of the purple. So that purple indicates that it is northern quahog. This is a southern quahog. Not quite as exciting. No purple. Still kind of a cool honkin' shell. I do collect them every now and then. So we do have, down here in Southwest Florida, we have northern and southern quahogs. We also have lots and lots of lightning whelks. This one is likely alive. For that to be sitting right there. Yeah, I think I kind of see the black of the animal. So I'm just going to make an assumption. You're alive. I'm going to leave you be. I feel terrible. Although I want to check to see if, you know, it's a seashell that I'm allowed to collect. And then a lot of times I'm disturbing live animals, which I guess it's just part of the process. So it's 67. It is a little chilly. I did decide to wear boots today. So I'm traipsing around in the water, but I do have boots on. And this is another urchin. Oh, you're so pretty. You're not quite big. I mean, you're big enough. Not the biggest one I've ever seen. I'm just delighted that they're back. So happy to see those little urchins. Yeah, this beach got walloped. So it's very uneven, and that's going to, from the storms that kind of come, and when the waves rush out, really kind of makes the beach uneven. All right, you, oh, yay! See, that's what I mean. Sometimes, now I kind of thought that might be alive, but look, it's not. So I guess just be kind of gentle. Yay. Sometimes you're rewarded with a lovely, large lightning whelk. That's angel wing. All right, cool. Another angel wing. Terrific. Oh, and we have a banded tulip that is not empty. So if there's a snail or a crab or any other kind of critter, that happened to be a hermit crab, but that's okay. We'll just take this angel wing. Oh, the fighting conch. Yeah, that is one seashell I have an extreme weakness for. Oh, they're so pretty and they're so spiky. I happen to like the top heavy ones, the ones with like the spikes more on the top. So this is a juvenile, and that's all zigzaggy. And so that's just another reason that I love these. The juveniles have just different patterns than the adults. I can, believe me, I could do an entire half hour just on the fighting conchs. I think they're so cool. That is an apple murex. There's a little bit of goo. That goo is the animal. So we're going to leave that critter there. Just hold on to that gorgeous fighting conch seashell. All right, we have an empty apple murex. Fantastic. Yes, no crabs, no animal. Keeper, apple murex. Little shark eye looking at me is... Now, it's pretty. It's just missing a bunch of the shell. What to do? I think I'll leave it. You know what? I'll just replace it with... All right, let's see anything in there. No, it's just a barnacle. Yep. All right, I'll replace it. I'm going to keep that shark eye with a drill hole that was likely made by another shark eye. Lovely, lovely moon snail. Oh, speaking of lovely moon snail. All right, let me just stop. Now, the alphabet cone. It's like an apex, I would say predator, but it actually probably is an apex predator in the sea world, but oh dear. Aww. All right, so I'm not going to collect that shark eye. I was really hoping that was going to be one of those big, gorgeous ones. But I did get an alphabet cone that was okay. Oh, and a lettered olive. And another fighting conch. All right, I'm not going to complain about that trifecta of awesomeness. All right, another. Oh, wait a minute. Is that another shark eye? What about you? What's your... Oh, hello, beautiful. Oh, your bottom is great. Your opening. Oh, you are so pretty. All right. And Mr. Olive or Ms. Olive, you were kind of hanging out there. All right, let's wash y'all off. I want to see that shark eye. All right, yep, you are perfectly acceptable, pointy, and beautiful, but you, hello. Oh, I can't, I love those shark eyes. Like a little bit bigger. That is awesome. Oh, I love this beach. Oh, there's another critter. So buried under there is one of those urchins I've been kind of going on and on about. They do cover themselves with shells, kind of protect themselves from other predators, maybe birds and things like that. So they get all dressed up to hang out at the beach. Okay, we have a common nutmeg. And they're like thick shells. They got some oomph to them, those nutmegs. Beautiful little nuggets of awesomeness. All right. Oh, I love this beach. Okay, so we have a sea star. So yes, I know we call them starfish, but they're actually sea stars. They're not fish. They're echinoderms. Anyway, they have little tube feet, and this fella or gal is pulling itself, you can see, kind of toward like 11 o'clock. So it is moving, albeit very slowly. So if I picked it up, you'd see its little tube feet on the bottom. I'm going to leave that critter alone. Oh, there's so many opportunities. Critter. Yeah. Yep. All right. There's an animal in there. There's somebody else already checked because the animal is all up in that shell. But hey, no, this one's empty. That's weird. Oh, weird and wonderful. I'm going to go ahead and take it. Oh, it's gorgeous. Another gorgeous lightning whelk. Oh, a brittle star. That was really kind of blended in there. So there's a brittle star. There's another brittle star. Now, what's interesting with the brittle stars, they don't like have eyes, but they can detect light with their feet because they tend to kind of hang out in crevices and whatnot. Oh, another egg casing. That's from a shark eye. So that right there is it. I know it kind of looks like plastic, but that's actually eggs and gelatin all just kind of like smooshed together. So those are more little shark egg babies. Yay! Make those babies so we can have lots and lots of seashells. Okay. Banded tulip. Yeah. Yep. Those are pretty reliable. Okay, this one's taken. All right, so an apple murex, and I don't know why the apple murex, they do that. They like climb on empty shells. So I'll leave one at the beach and I'll go ahead and take one. Leave one and take one. Oh, I was really hoping this was albino. No, I see a little bit of color on it. I was hoping I had, oh, you're still oh, look how light. Oh, you're pretty. All right, you're not quite as glorious. I did find an albino version. Yeah, here it is. Oh, it would be terrible to only show you this once. So I'm glad you guys are going to get an opportunity to see it once again. It's gorgeous. So it's albino and sitting in my little shell cabinet. It's still hinged and everything. That was a killer find. So this one is not albino, but still really, really lovely. Another giant Atlantic cockle. Another urchin. See, all right, you moving around? You can see your little spines and your little tube feet moving around. And just because it's not moving does not mean that it is deceased. So we'll just keep that in mind as well. Oh yeah, you can totally see it moving. They do eat algae. So you don't have to worry about that urchin. Yeah, here you go. We'll put you right on top of that little smorgasbord there. Don't have to worry about the urchins trying to eat other critters. What do you got? Itty bitty Gulf oyster drill. Thought I was going to get, oh, what do we have here? Oh, a dove. A Gulf dove snail. That would be my best guess. Yep. Fun little shell, little dove snail. All right, so all those are disc dosinias. The white shells, they have a really, really strong hinge. Oh, I'm glad the dosinias didn't distract me from that alphabet cone. So that's another fabulous find, a little alphabet cone. Awesome. Yeah, I probably snagged a couple of those dosinias, but oh, is that an urchin? Yay! Oh, look, it's all it's covered. Kind of pick up some other seashells covering itself. You and me both. Well, I don't cover myself in seashells, but I suppose if I could, I would. All right, more of those disc dosinias. Anything else kind of All right, we'll go for this little crown conch. I've been looking for those animals and those shells. I've had a rough time lately, but at least we got this little one. Kind of a surprise. That is fun. All right, what are you? You're muddy. Oh, it's a ribbed Cantharus. You know what though? I think there's a critter in there. So that bright reddish color, some shells, yeah, there's a critter in there. Will be, it's almost like an anomaly. It's not an albino thing, but the ribbed Cantharus will come in that color. Sometimes the chestnut turbans will do that as well. And horse conchs, even though they naturally come in kind of an orange color. Oh man, that's a bummer. I was gonna like not bury it, but yeah, you're fine. Right, perfect. In the water, kind of hidden. Aw, that's okay. Maybe we'll find something else empty. Look at that beautiful fighting conch with a little bit of the brown by the spikes. Oh, hello, colorful moon snail. Oh, you're so beautiful and orange and spirally. So it's a colorful moon snail because the animal is actually quite colorful. Scanning, scanning. I see a little fighting conch. Yep. Oh dear. Well, not a keeper. All the shells in my mind's eye are perfect and glorious. Sometimes when they're underwater, that's even it's like a filter. Just makes them look beautiful. And that's a piece of an urchin. So that, if you saw something that kind of looked like that was not broken, collect that all day long. But leave the urchins with the spikes on them at the beach. And I have not yet. No, I did. That's right. Last week, I think I got a little tiny itty bitty baby urchin. That is a rose petal Tellin. Fort Myers Beach happens to have rose petal Tellins like every time I come. So that is a Cantharus. That is a tinted Cantharus. I don't know, a little bit of beach stuff on it. So the beach stuff picked off, and it does appear to be empty. Terrific. So that is a tinted Cantharus. Another colorful moon snail. Now sometimes instead of having like orange, it'll have like browns, like really rich colors. Still a really lovely shell. It's very pleasing to the eye, kind of like the spiral on it. Oh, and a little dusky cone. Cute little things, a little dusky cone, a little colorful moon snail. Now the moon snail is also a moon snail, but we just happen to call that one a shark eye. And then a lightning whelk. Little shark eye, little lightning whelk, little bit of awesomeness. Okay, a lace murex. They're a little more rare, in my opinion, than the apple murex. Oh, a true tulip. So there's the banded tulips and a true tulip. True tulips, harder to find, get much bigger. Little more exciting. Okay, what else? A critter. Now, I had come across this and it was upside down, and I actually thought it was dead, so I didn't film it. I flipped it over and it just sprung back to life. So this is a 9-armed sea star. I think they're wicked cool. Check this out. Look at its little tube feet. Oh, they're so cool. So that's what they use for locomotion and to pry open clams and things that they eat. Oh, I love the 9-armed sea star, and they're big. They look like big old aliens. Check it moving. It is cruising. So yes, the water is moving a little bit, but the animal is really moving too. Oh, that is neat. So the 9-armed sea star. Very happy to see one of those fabulous creatures. Oh dear. Yep, somebody lost this lovely purple sandal, so I'm going to get that off the beach. Oh, here's the little urchin. So I knew in the last couple of weeks I had found one little urchin that I was able to collect. So that clearly is fine. That's going to go in my little delicates container. Oh, that's a real little treasure. Here's a horse conch. A little bit green, a little slimy. Nothing that bleach can't take care of. So that is the Florida state shell. Little horse conch. And it is not actually a conch. It's actually a member of the Tulip family. All right, I see a shark eye. Laser focus right on anything else. But I do, or I have learned if I just kind of stare for a while at this, other shells kind of reveal themselves. So it looks like I got myself a pair of augers. Okay. Definitely got to check out that shark eye. Well, for me, oh yeah, oh man, not a keeper. Although I got that other one, so I am definitely not complaining. That other big, beautiful, glorious shark eye. Okay, little drill. Barnacles that do not look like volcanoes, so I'm going to leave that here. I'll just stick with the safe shells that I know there's no critters in. Oh, the white Atlantic semele. Yeah, this shell should definitely have a different name, but I'm not in charge of that. I'm just going to tell you what it's called. So that is a white Atlantic semele that also has a little bit of pink on it. And it's also not in the Atlantic. It's in the Gulf of Mexico. Look at a little. So this is a fighting conch that is using its stromboid notch. Now, only true conchs are going to have this notch right here, and that's called the stromboid notch. So the horse conch that we just saw, they don't have that because it's not actually a conch. Same deal with the crown conch. So this critter has a proboscis, and it's kind of like a black, it's like a trunk, and it eats algae. So it's just kind of like eating, hanging out here, having itself a little snack. And I just love that we can see how the animal kind of uses its shell. Oh, they schlump. That is the what I call the way that the fighting conchs move. Oh, I just think they're so neat. So little fighting conch schlumping along, having some snacks or breakfast, whatever little fighting conch does. Oh, I just love them. And I had walked out onto the sandbar because I think it is high time for everyone to enjoy some beach time. Oh, here is another fighting conch that was probably singing to me. Yep, with the orange and the kind of light color, baby, a little bit of purple. Oh, it's just a lovely fighting conch. Oh, it's top shell. We have not seen one of those yet today, or at least I haven't shown you one yet. So that is a jujube top shell or top snail. Oh, almost got away, spiny jewel box. Look at how spiky. So we also have spiny jewel boxes. I personally am a huge fan of like the really spiky ones. Oh man, Fort Myers has been awesome. And there are some Sanddollars. So I've walked back into that section and it would be impossible to, try to rescue them all. So nature is going to do its thing. And they are used to being out of the water for a period of time. So I suspect most of them will be just fine. Look at this little critter. It's a little jellyfish. I myself, I have never been stung by a jellyfish. I hope I'm not jinxing myself. I think that that's a little moon jelly. And the moon jellies won't sting you anyway, or at least the humans it won't. Yeah, it kind of looks like a moon jelly. That's what I'm guessing it is. I mean, I'm not going to go pick it up or anything. We'll just enjoy it from afar, nice safe distance. That's not to say that I don't have vinegar in the trunk of my car just in case. But this is one of the, that's why I love Fort Myers Beach. There are so many shells and creatures, and oh my gosh, what a wonderful way to spend a morning. Now, I did get a little bit of garbage off the beach. Let's see, we got 0.67 ounces. Okay, but I need to add that because there were a couple other little pieces too. So the 0.67 and 0.3 equals 0.97, and then I convert that over to pounds, and then in total, I've removed a little over 69 pounds of garbage off of our beaches in Southwest Florida. I've also removed a couple of angel wings, looks like some Distocenias, a crab carapace, that one little urchin, that is a corrugate jewel box, some Sanddollars, Sunray Venus clams, there is a northern quahog, yellow prickly cockle, Florida prickly cockle, the giant Atlantic cockles, and we have some rose petal Tellins in there. So we have some nutmegs, a crown conch, bubbles on the bottom. There's a NASA Gulf oyster drill, I think a mauve mouth drill. Can't forget the white Atlantic simile or the button shell. We have some augers there, some lettered olives, some apple murex. There's a lace murex there too. Banded tulips, some shark eyes, some horse conchs, a pear whelk, lightning whelks there, some top snails or top shells, the fighting conchs. There is a turkey wing and some calico clams. And then my favorites today were all the spiky little spiny jewel boxes. That one moon snail, the true tulip, the dove snail, the really spiky jewel box, alphabet cones, the colorful moon snail, the little dusky cones. That was really fun. Plus all the critters and everything. So that was just a great day to be out there. Patreons, thank you. Welcome new Patreons. I update my Patreon list once a month. Otherwise, I would be going bananas on top of everything else I'm doing every week. But anyway, thank you. Gracias. Danke Shane. Any way that I can say thank you so very much. I really, really appreciate you supporting me and allowing me to go out there and make videos like this. And everybody else who comes along, don't think I don't notice. The numbers tell me. I really appreciate you too. Next week's going to be so fun. Super early, I find the most awesome black shell and a flat. And I'm not going to tell you where. I'll surprise you next week. So I hope you have yourself a great week, and I'll see you again next Sunday.